Mark finally moves, not impulsively, not emotionally. He does what smart people do. He prepares. He spends months improving, learning, refining. He watches others succeed and assumes the difference is effort, or confidence, or luck. So he fixes the one thing he can control: quality. When he finally delivers, the work is solid, thoughtful, complete, well considered. It should land, it doesn't. Nothing rejects it. Nothing criticizes it. It simply passes through the system without resistance and without impact. Mark assumes the obvious explanation. Maybe it wasn't good enough. Maybe he misjudged his readiness. So he improves it again and again. What he doesn't realize is this: the system didn't evaluate the work. It evaluated the moment. We like to believe outcomes are proportional to effort, that good work eventually finds its place, that quality accumulates, that if you wait long enough, the system will catch up. That belief feels fair. It's wrong. Systems don't reward work in isolation. They reward work in context. They respond to pressure, to demand, to readiness. Outside those conditions, quality has nowhere to land. This is why timing creates winners, not because winners are better, but because they arrive when the system is prepared to receive them. Mark didn't fail. He arrived early, and early work doesn't compound. It resets. Being early feels like rejection, not because the work is bad, but because the system isn't listening yet. Think about how often this happens. Ideas presented before urgency exists. Skills developed before demand appears. Products built before people are ready to care. Nothing breaks, nothing reacts. Then someone else arrives later, less prepared, less precise, less thoughtful, but perfectly timed. And suddenly the same system responds. The difference isn't talent, it's alignment. Timing is not about clocks, it's about windows. Systems open narrow windows where effort compounds. Before the window, effort looks wasted. After the window, effort looks irrelevant. Only inside the window does it look like success. This is why effort alone doesn't create momentum, because momentum isn't stored, it's released, and only when conditions allow it. Mark watches this happen and feels confused. He did everything right. He prepared. He waited. He delivered quality. And yet someone else moved faster and further. This is where people make a mistake. They assume the lesson is speed, or aggression, or risk. It's not. The lesson is placement. Effort placed outside the window doesn't grow. It decays. It becomes experience without leverage. Knowledge without momentum. Movement without progress. This is why smart people stay busy but don't advance. They confuse motion with timing. They work hard at the wrong moment, or deliver perfectly in the wrong context, and the system responds with silence. Silence doesn't mean no, it means not now. But systems don't say that. They just move on. Timing doesn't amplify effort. It decides whether effort compounds at all. This is true in work, but it's also true in money, in trends, in opportunities, in every system that reacts to pressure instead of preparation. Being early feels like failure. Being late feels invisible. Only timing feels like success. Mark begins to see the pattern, not just in his own outcomes, but in others. He notices how often winners aren't the most prepared. They're the most aligned. They arrive when attention is available, when urgency exists, when the system needs something. This is uncomfortable to accept because it removes the comfort of accumulation. It means effort doesn't guarantee progress. Only context does. But it also explains something important. Why some people seem to leap forward suddenly. Why success often looks sudden. Why effort appears unevenly rewarded. It's not sudden, it's released. Mark doesn't become reckless. He doesn't rush. He doesn't abandon quality. What changes is how he evaluates moments. He stops asking, "Is this ready?" and starts asking, "Is the system ready?" Because effort isn't wasted by being imperfect. It's wasted by being mistimed. This is the invisible rule behind winners. Not talent, not courage, not effort, timing. Once you see this, outcomes stop looking random. They stop looking unfair. They start looking conditional. And Mark finally understands why his best work didn't change anything. Not because it wasn't good, but because it arrived when nothing was listening. That's why timing creates winners. Not effort, not intention, not preparation. Timing.